To post a job on Handshake, do the following. Start by clicking Post a Job from your home dashboard or clicking on Jobs in the left-hand navigation bar and clicking Create Job in the top right-hand corner. You will now be asked to complete 3 tabs in the posting. These include the job basics, details, and preferences. Let's start by going through job basics. All fields required. Where should students submit their application? Select Apply in Handshake only. Job title. Indicate the title of the position you are seeking. Job title must be descriptive per the regulations for federal and non-federal work study. NYU department. Note, this is required for NYU job approval. Select your department using the division's drop-down menu. If you don't see your division, email handshake@nyu.edu. Job type. Select on-campus student employment. Select an employment type. This will always equal part-time. Select a duration. This should always be temporary. You must input a start date and an end date. Is this a work-study job? Select yes or no. Please note, student work-study eligibility could change as students decide to confirm their financial aid. Choose Next along the bottom of your screen. Next, we'll go through adding in your job details. Add a description for your job. If you copy and paste a description from a website or document, formatting will be retained. You must include the following: the purpose or role of the position within the organization. Why does this role exist? A description of responsibilities and how they relate to the purpose or role. This should be a detailed explanation of duties and expectations. The general qualifications for the role you are posting for. What knowledge, skills, or abilities is a student required to have in order to succeed in this role? Are there variable rates of pay? Procedures for determining variable rates of pay. If this does not apply to you, simply write NA. Evaluation procedures and frequency. Whether your performance evaluation procedures are informal or structured, provide a brief description. If you don't have any formal procedures yet, please indicate what you plan to implement moving forward. Choose job functions from the drop-down. This helps students search for jobs by their functional area. This is a list defined by Handshake, and so choose the function closest to your need. Add how many students you plan on hiring for this position. This does not affect your job in any way, but rather is used for historical data and tracking purposes. Add in the job salary, $15 per hour for undergraduate students, $20 per hour for graduate students. Enter a location for your job. As you start typing the address, some suggestions will show up in the address field. You must select one rather than manually typing it in. This can be a specific office location or a general city like Chicago, USA. If this position is located in multiple locations, you can select Add another location. If your job is in the United States, you'll see an additional Eligibility for International Students section appear. Note, the following fields are required for job types outside of on-campus employment. These questions will therefore not appear for on-campus employment. Would you sponsor a work visa for the right candidate? Select yes. Are you willing to hire candidates that are temporarily authorized to work for a defined period in their field of study, such as for a job or internship under OPT or CPT? Select yes. Select Required Documents, optional. The file upload limit is 20 megabytes. For roles attaching work samples, Please inform students of this limit by adding a note to the job description. Choose Next along the bottom of your screen to reach the Job Preferences tab. Job Preferences. Note, none of the preferences you add to this page will block students from applying to a job, but student applications who meet all of your preferences will be separated in the application queue from those who don't. You can learn in our article on job preferences. Also note, all of these preferences are completely optional. Add a graduation date range for your job by specifying the earliest and latest graduation date for qualified applicants. Prefer to qualify students by school year, like freshman, sophomore, or junior? You can check one of the school year boxes instead. Add a minimum GPA value. Choose which majors would make a student qualified for your job. Note, these majors are consolidated across every school on Handshake. Once you select a category by clicking on the checkbox next to it, that category will expand to show the majors within it. All majors within a category will be selected by default, but you can remove them by simply clicking on the major you'd like to remove. If you know of a very specific major at a school that you'd like to choose instead of our mappings, choose the link at the bottom. This will open up a module to explain your school and major manually. Setting up who should receive applicant packages. Email a summary. You'll receive one email once your job expires. Email every time. You'll get emails each time a new student applies. If you choose this option, you can then specify whether you want every student who applies or only students who match all of your preferences, such as eligibility for international students, grad date, year, GPA, and major. You'll see your name listed first. You can also add a contact to receive applicant packages. These contacts are not users with accounts. You can think of them as members of the directory, and you are emailing them at the frequency you've selected. To add a contact, select Create a new contact. Input all prompts for your additional contact in the new contact window. Once complete, click Create Contact. Choose Next along the bottom of your screen. Next, we'll go through school selection. Add New York University only from the drop-down menu. Leave the box unchecked. Indicate an apply start date. You can choose if you'd like to block students from applying to your job until a specific date. Indicate an expiration date. You can update the date that the job will expire at that school, and students will no longer be able to apply. Choose Save on the bottom navigation to create and review your job. You're all set.